Sup fam, welcome to the Reddit show. I'm your host, JF Kevin. Today we have a very special episode because every story we have today is about food. So without further ado, let's chat about food. Am I the jerk for abruptly leaving my boyfriend and his family dinner after they refused to respect my allergies? I, 19-year-old female, recently got the chance to safely see my boyfriend, 20 male, and his family for dinner. I work as a paramedic and would reject any plans my boyfriend tried to make wanting to go see his family due to COVID. I recently got the chance to have a 2-week vacation and decided to accept my boyfriend's offer to see his family. I asked my boyfriend what would be served and just checking in to see if they would make something that didn't have seafood or shellfish since I'm allergic to them. The day came and I had a good time with them up until it was time for us to eat. I noticed that the food they served mostly had either seafood in it or was entirely seafood. I asked if they had anything else, but my boyfriend insisted I should just eat a little and not be disrespectful. I stood my ground and informed him and his family that I'm severely allergic to seafood, and after they told me that they wouldn't be making anything that did not have seafood in it, I thanked them and left. Today, I got an angry text message from my boyfriend upset that I disrespected him and his family, and he wanted me to apologize to them, but I am not going to. Am I the jerk? Okay, OP, you are definitely not the jerk. In fact, when I was younger, I was dating someone who was a vegetarian. I know vegetarian is not the same as an allergy, but she was vegetarian and we went to go have dinner with my grandma. And my grandma made a bunch of vegetable dishes. But my grandma was also a really bad person and just spiteful and mean. So she put meat in like every single vegetable dish, completely unnecessarily. So we got into a big argument and I left. That's what your boyfriend should have done, by the way. Should have stood up for you there because, I mean, if his family knew about your allergy, that was just rude and disrespectful to you. If I were you, I wouldn't continue in that relationship. Am I the jerk for asking my girlfriend not to eat so much? I know the title sounds bad, but this is a pretty specific situation, so please hear me out. I, 26 male, have been dating a woman that we'll call Ashley, 26 female, for about 3 months. Ashley grew up financially well off and relatively privileged, and it's been a point of friction in our relationship, with her not understanding or grasping the level of poverty that I and my family grew up with. It's also relevant to the story that Ashley is a heavier person and is a very vocal advocate for body positivity and will very assertively stand up to anyone she thinks is fat shaming herself or others. The other person who's relevant to this story is my grandma, who's 70. My grandmother is a wonderful woman, but she's both very proud and very broke. She likes to have us over for dinner and is an excellent cook, but financially she can't really afford it. She refuses to take any money from me or anyone else and won't let anyone bring food, saying it's her responsibility to take care of the family. She also takes offense if you turn down the invitation. About a month ago, we had dinner with her, and Ashley liked the food so much that she went back for a second and then a third large portion. This is just not done in my family. We all take a single small portion, as the leftovers are what my grandmother has to eat for the week. So Ashley taking 2 more large portions meant my grandmother couldn't eat for the next couple days. After the dinner, I explained this to Ashley, and she was shocked. I did also try to bring my grandmother more food, but she refused the charity out of pride. My grandmother has invited us to dinner again this weekend. Before we left, I tried to have a discussion with Ashley, reiterating my grandmother's financial situation and just asking that she try to only take a single, smaller portion so my grandmother can have food for the rest of the week. I said we could go eat again somewhere else after dinner if she was still hungry. Ashley got very angry at this and said,
"I will not be shamed for my eating, and I will not limit my food. No one other than me decides when I've had enough food."
Oh, and she also accused me of fat shaming her. This whole ordeal has highlighted a lot of incompatibility issues, and I don't know if this relationship is going to last, but I just wanted some other opinions on whether or not I'm the jerk. Am I the jerk for asking her to limit her eating? Edit. A lot of people are asking why I didn't tell my girlfriend before the first meal, and to be frank, I didn't think about it. It hadn't occurred to me that someone would go to someone else's house and eat 2 days worth of food in a single sitting. Okay, OP, let's get one thing straight. It is not cool to make fun of people for the way they look or how much they weigh or whatever, but you didn't do that. You're dating this girl. You were clearly not, that's not an issue. Like, she is being disrespectful to your family's financial situation and how you try to be considerate of your grandma and look out for her in that way. I think it's completely reasonable you made that request, and her response was completely unreasonable, and I hope that you're no longer together, for your sake. Am I the jerk for asking my wife not to cook for me anymore? My wife is a disaster in the kitchen. She leaves a huge mess behind after she's done with cooking. She uses a zillion utensils, even to make a coffee. Don't ask me how, it's an unsolved mystery. Today, she said she learned this new recipe from her mom and went into the kitchen to prepare it. When she was done, it turned out to be vodka pasta, and it tasted horrible because she added an entire bottle of vodka. She also put way too much salt and it ended up tasting like salt with pasta on the side rather than pasta seasoned with salt. So I told her from now on, make whatever you want, but only for you and not for me. I also asked her to clean up the kitchen when she's done cooking. To add, I've always cooked for us, ever since we got married. I don't even mind cooking for her. She has no reason to cook for both of us. She says she wants to learn to cook. So I told her, make yourself food, and I'll taste a little bit of it and tell you where you could do better. Edit. I work as a chef at a restaurant and I work nearly 12 hours a day, so I just have enough time to get as much work done around the house and then go to sleep. When my wife cooks though, the food turns out to be inedible and it just ends up in the trash. Then I have to clean the kitchen, cook again, and then clean the kitchen once again. So it's a lot of work for me. She also refuses to go to a cooking class and I just don't have time to teach her. Edit 2. Want to know why the pasta was so bad? She boiled the pasta in vodka and water, and then she made the sauce with more vodka. And her logic was that since vodka is one of the main ingredients, adding more of it would only make it taste better than the given recipe. She didn't realize that vodka makes food bitter when you add it in large quantities. Sounds like OP probably got pretty faded when he ate that pasta. Probably got hammered off one bite. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I can't say you're the jerk here, but as long as you were like, nice about it, I guess I wouldn't want to eat that stuff, so, Am I the jerk for giving my daughter's vegan friend meaty meals during sleepovers? My daughter and her friend, we'll call her M, are both 12 years old and like to have sleepovers every now and then. M's family maintains a strict vegan diet, where she isn't even allowed to drink milk. Her parents are nice people, although a bit on the neurotic side. M is a bright girl, and she's a good friend to my daughter, but I noticed how much smaller and paler she is compared to my daughter. I think it's likely tied to her family's diet. So whenever she's over, I always make a big meaty meal for them. Last weekend, I made some cheeseburgers and steaks for them on the grill with a big glass of milk. M absolutely loves it and always politely asks for more, which I happily provide. For snacks, I give them some of my venison jerky. For breakfast, I typically make a big plate of scrambled eggs and bacon, again with a big glass of milk. Despite her size, M always wolfs down whatever I make. And I have to say, every time she leaves, it looks like she has a healthier glow to her. I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I think M is a bit malnourished. I mean, nothing against vegans or anything. She knows she'll get in big trouble if she tells her folks. I'm pretty sure she fibs a little bit about it to her parents. Am I the jerk for letting my daughter's vegan friend eat meat? Yes, OP. Yes. Yes. You are absolutely the jerk. Just first off, the fact that you're like, oh, she's smaller and paler than your kid, like, what does that mean? Nothing. You don't know enough about the situation. And you're just introducing, stuff into her diet that her body's not used to. So I guess good job giving a little girl diarrhea, jerk. Cue the music. All right, everybody, that was our last story. So that's the end of this episode. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and leave us a comment letting us know what your favorite story was. That's all for today. Bye. Oh yeah, and you can also like one of these videos or playlists or listen to us on a podcast on pretty much any podcast platform. Bye.